Welcome back, Calibrate Tools family. Today we're going to learn how to mix concrete in a bucket. So stay tuned, I'll see you right after this. So the first thing I want to clear up is the confusion between the terms cement and concrete, because most of us who are not familiar with the technicalities think that cement and concrete are the same, but they're not. Cement is actually an ingredient of concrete. It's a mixture of aluminum, iron, calcium, silicon, and other substances found in iron ore, limestone, clay, shells, and other types of sand like silica sand. This mixture is heated at very high temperatures that harden it to a solid rock-like state, and then they grind this rock-like state to a powder. That powder form is what's called cement. Then the powder form, the cement, is mixed with other aggregates like sand, gravel, and stone to make up or produce what we call concrete. By the way, that water that you use to mix everything with, that has to be clean. I mean, drinking water clean. Why? Because too many impurities in the water can affect how long the concrete takes to set. It can affect the strength of the concrete. These impurities can also cause what's called efflorescence, which leaves salt deposits in and on the surface of the concrete after the water dries. Impurities can also cause corrosion of reinforcement, like steel rebar, which is immersed in concrete. The aggregates, the sand, the stone, the gravel, also have to be clean, because any contaminants in them can compromise the strength and the quality of the concrete. Now I got 2 bags of concrete here. One is a fast setting mix, that's the one on the left, the red bag, and one is a high strength mix, that's the one on the right. Now fast setting means the mix is formulated to dry in a shorter amount of time, around 20 to 30 minutes, and the curing time, that's the time it takes to bear any weight, is around a few hours, okay? Maybe 4 hours. Now the high strength mix takes about 25 to 45 minutes to dry, and it takes about 24 to 48 hours to cure enough to bear any weight. Now, when you mix concrete traditionally, it takes about 24 to 48 hours to dry, and the curing time, that's the time it takes for it to bear any substantial weight or load, is about a week. Now, the fast setting concrete doesn't require you to mix anything. You just have to add water, and it does the rest. It's ideal for putting up fence posts, mailbox posts. You just pour it in the hole and add water. Now, when I say no mixing required or just add water, that just means that you don't have to add the aggregates like sand, gravel, or stone to the cement. The concrete mix formula is all in one bag, okay? So all that's needed is to add water, but you still have to mix the water into the formula, into the mix, enough to allow it to permeate or penetrate the whole mix. This is especially important when installing fence posts or mailbox posts, because you want the water to get to the bottom of the mix. So you can do that with a hand trowel, bricklayer's trowel, or cement trowel, or you can do that with this. This is called an egg beater or a drywall compound mixer. Okay, you just attach it to your drill and you have battery power to mix your formula, to mix your concrete. So the first thing you want to do when you start mixing your concrete or mixing your cement is that you want to prepare the surface that you're going to mix on. You don't want to put your concrete on the bare floor. You want to cover it with something so the concrete won't dry on the floor and cause a mess. So what I do is I get a piece of plastic. This is a 9x12 plastic drop cloth, and I'm going to place it on the floor. You can get these at your hardware store. And if you want, you can throw down a board to put your supplies on, and you can use the board to test your concrete as well. So if you have to mix concrete by hand, you don't have to use a wheelbarrow and a shovel. You can use a bucket, a simple 5-gallon bucket like this. And if you're going to mix your concrete the traditional way, without any pre-mixed bags of concrete, you just have your sand, your gravel, and your cement. You want to make sure that you lay those out as well. So right here I have some gravel. Got some sand. And I got my cement. And of course we got our clean water. All right, guys, so the general rule for mixing your cement or concrete is to use a C20 mix ratio. That means 1 part cement, 2 parts sand, and 4 parts aggregate or gravel or stone. So I use this to open the cement bag on this side, but you can also lay the bag down on its side and cut a slot and open it that way. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open the sand bag and the gravel bag. Now, what we don't want to do is add water first because we don't know how much water we're going to need, right? And if you add too much water, the concrete will be weak. So you want to gauge how much water you need. They have different ratios that you can look up on the internet, but you just want to make sure that the mix is workable, and you have to add water after you add everything else so you can work it into a practical paste. So we're going to add 4 parts of rough gravel here. And you want to make sure that you take out around the same amount every time you go in. Okay, so we got our 4 parts gravel, and now we're going to take our 2 parts sand. And then we're going to take our 1 part cement. Then we're going to mix it up before we add any water. Now let's add our water. Just a little bit right now. Check our consistency. I need some more water. Okay guys, so we're going to use our egg beater to continue to mix it up some more. Okay guys, after you're done mixing, you want your cement to look something like this. It's not too dry and it's not too wet. It's workable, okay? Now, we did use 3/4 inch gravel aggregate in this mix. Gravel actually makes a cement mix stronger, but you don't have to use gravel depending on the application. You can use cement and sand only for smaller jobs. Stone and gravel in the mix are usually for larger jobs. Okay, so we just mixed some regular cement the traditional way by adding the aggregate, the cement, the water, etc. But now we're going to see how fast setting cement works. Everything is pre-mixed in a bag, okay? So we're going to pour it into the pail and mix it up by just adding water and mixing it up. Now it's good to keep in mind that the fast setting cement does cost more than regular cement, okay? About $1 more. So if the job is small, that might not make much of a difference. But if you have a larger job, that $1 can add up real quick. Don't forget to clean off your tools, guys, after you're done. Now, which one is stronger, the fast-setting concrete or the regular concrete? Well, they actually have the same strength. One just costs more. Hey, if you took some value out of this video, hit that like and subscribe button, share the video, and I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.